I got to lean in.
Okay, Chase, I saw you in the background twerking or dancing or something.
I gotta leave and come back. I can't hear.
You can't hear us? Okay, well, we'll let Dayne get himself together. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another live for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills here at the Lean. I'm here with Chase and Danny. Danny got a few low budget issues, but we always have them over here at the Lean. You know, we're not low budget, but sometimes individually we have them. So, is he back? You hear us now, Danny?
I still can't hear you. Chase, I can't hear either one of y'all.
I'm not talking.
Well, let me try again from my phone.
Okay, I'll be right back. You can come back, but that's okay. He'll be here for the show. In the meantime, Chase, how you doing?
I'm really good. I think this is the first time I've been with you this year, right?
Yeah, because
Happy New Year.
First show was I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I can't keep up, Chad. The holidays came and it was so much going on, but it's good to see you and be here with you as well. We didn't have a parents' medicine yesterday, unfortunately. I know you were sad about that, but we didn't miss much from over there either.
No, we didn't, but I did have a good discussion lined up, so we'll table it for next week.
Okay, yeah. Make sure y'all check out the next week for Married to Medicine. It's gonna be a double feature for the show, and then you know that panel is always lit, as I always say.
we've been a little calmer lately. We just gotta work on.
It's a good lit. It's a good lit. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a good.
No. We just gotta work on Sammy and that quad. We got to get him to bring it on down a couple of notches, and we'll be all right.
Can you hear us now, Danny?
I'm here. I can hear, baby.
I can't hear you, Danny.
I didn't know that my AirPod case was open.
He can't hear you.
I can hear you.
No, I can hear him. I'm joking.
Baby, I'm not leaving this time.
No, I was going along with it. I knew I was playing along with it.
You like tricked me.
I know. No, I'm just playing. What's going on, everybody in the chat right now? Sean S is here. Sean S made a little cameo on the Instagram and Twitter. She messaged me last week and said, "I love getting Chase riled up." I ain't gonna say she said it. She said it. Hey Sean. Hey Lisa. Hey Sass K. Hey Haitian Empress. Amanda K. MJ, Priya, if you're watching right now, go ahead and let us know. Well, let us know where you're watching from. Hit that like button and subscribe. Tonight's episode was better than last week. You see, I ain't got no robe on, so I must have enjoyed something. Let me go ahead and hit live on Instagram too, because I forgot. You know, we live over there too, but I have to.
Baby, me and Chase was gonna put on our robes tonight.
Well, if you would have,
I had mine on there to take it off.
I was gonna put on my robe and tell my story.
Chase, Sean said Sammy is not the issue. Ooh.
Because Sean is the issue. I'm glad you know that.
All right, y'all. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. As I always says, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. It's free. It's free $99. It keeps us in the algorithm, keeps us afloat, and it keeps us relevant, as AnneMarie tells Crystal next week. And subscribe to the channel, as I always say. Sass K gonna tell y'all a million times, hit the like button. So please do as she says.
And listen every time.
And just listen. Hit the thumbs up. Freezing in Vancouver. I can't relate, honey. In LA, it was like 60 degrees today. It felt good. I'm sorry, y'all. But to Vancouver, put a jacket on.
It was 18 in Atlanta, 18 in the A.
I heard that y'all, everybody, Texas is cold, Georgia's cold. Ooh, this is why I love LA. This is why. This is around this time. All right, y'all. Well, last week's episode, we had Kyle's event, and I know you weren't here last week, Chase. Were you here last week, Dan? I can't remember. It was me.
Yes, because you had on your robe. It was me, you, and Love.
Okay, so obviously going into this episode, you know, we know what's coming between Crystal and AnneMarie. But Chase, I'll ask you, how do you feel after last week's episode in terms of how AnneMarie's approach about the esophagus? Like, what are your thoughts? As I know you weren't here, I want to hear what you think.
It's like the song that never on. It's like, you know, some people need to go to sleep with the TV on when you go to sleep, but eventually you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and be like, is this TV still on? Oh my God, let me turn it off. I'm sick of AnneMarie. I mean, you know, she could breathe at this point and I'd be like, oh, shut up. So
she don't say a lot, but every time she speaks, I'm like, oh.
What Chase, you know, I've adopted your name for her, Chase. I call her Annabelle. I called her Annabelle all last week because of the doll. But my thing with her is she sits there and has a nerve to tell Crystal next episode that she made her relevant and gave her something to talk about. Maybe the only reason you're even speaking this season and so far, Annabelle, is because of Sutton. So,
and furthermore, just really quickly, and I'm gonna let y'all have it. But the audacity of Annabelle, because Neither one of you are relevant.
Okay, because one getting scenes cut and one is new. And
But at least, yeah.
I see what you mean, though.
But one continues to get asked back. I don't think Annabelle is gonna get asked back.
I don't think Crystal come back neither.
But she's already had her.
Yeah.
She's been asked already. She could still say something that Annabelle won't be able to.
Okay. So picking up in this episode, we know that happened last week, which goes into this week. We know that Mauricio was not at the event last week, which is another topic that people were like, "Oh my god!" So at the top of this episode, we see Kyle and Sutton. Kyle has not been to Sutton's house since Sutton told her to name him. And so this is refreshing to see them, and I guess they kind of like in this good space. And I don't mind it because, I mean, it's crazy that this is all in the same season. You would think they really never got over that. To be honest, they just kind of I don't know what they did, but they're good, right? And so at the event, at her house, Kyle is all in the lady's fridge, like, oh, wow, there's no food in here, just like I thought. I knew she wasn't eating. And Sutton is like, well, dang, I should have put some food in here so she think I'm eating. I'm like, y'all are childish. They talk about the event, and Sutton just still can't believe, that Mauricio was not there. And Kyle speaks to it again. Sutton is not buying it. They talk about the upcoming event, Toothless, Not Homeless. I'm sorry, did I get it right? Wait. Homeless, not toothless. That's right. I messed it up. That's crazy.
It's the same shit to me. Excuse my language, but it's the same thing to me.
Oh.
You don't want him to be either one.
But which one would you rather be if you had to pick?
I would rather
be in the house gumming my corn.
I'd rather be too, because there's many people out there that have bad teeth and they living great lives. You wouldn't even know because they don't smile.
Well, I have worked with the toothless and I have worked with the homeless, and I just must. Where's Kathy?
I'd rather be toothless so I can do this. I mean, sorry, wait. No, I don't want to be toothless.
If I had a man, he'd appreciate me being toothless too. And I can do that in my home.
I can do some mean anyway. So
okay, Nat. Did y'all try that rule?
Yeah, you saw
it. Yes, today, Nick.
Okay. So that event is coming up. And what I will say, I'm proud of Dorit in this sense to still keep it going, because it's very rare that you see things come from these shows that they follow up on.
Yeah,
I was glad to see that she's gonna follow up with it, and you never know. We talking about it now, but let's give it 5 years. It could be even bigger. We don't know. So I
she's still around.
If 5 more years of Dorit.
They talk about AnneMarie coming for Sutton, and they talk about the Barcelona trip, but Sutton says that she don't want to come. But apparently she already invited them. And so she was just like, well, you can't uninvite her. She was like, well, I want an apology. And so any thoughts on this scene in terms of the toothless, the homeless, the trip that's coming up to Barcelona, and Sutton wanting an apology?
She's an older one.
She's owed an apology for sure. Anytime I hear Barcelona now, I think, do you want to go to Barcelona? Like, why does she say it like that? I wasn't like, do you want to go to Barcelona? Like, I guess
I will say, and I will say that when they mentioned Barcelona on this thing, I was like, well, why can't they go to Austin?
You read a statement in Austin?
I'm just saying, like, it just seemed like Potomac just still keep getting the short end of the
Well, this is, Austin was their Vegas. That was their first trip. So,
okay. They still going to Vegas then.
You're not going for it.
When's the last time they had a good trip?
I don't know, child.
I will say this very quickly as well. As you mentioned earlier, it looks like they have built a bridge and gotten over it. In the words of Lovable Lisa, oh, hey, Lovable Lisa, build a bridge and get over it. And remember she got telling us that last season? They built a bridge and gotten over it. But, it goes to show further why Sutton should never really put all of her trust into Kyle, because Kyle, your man didn't even show up for you. And, we had to sit down and listen to your lesbian lover allegedly serenade you down to that event, and your man wasn't there. And now the first thing you do, as opposed to wanting to get into the issues, is talk about how I ain't got no food in my house, further perpetuating a lie that I have an eating disorder. She is a snake with wrinkles.
Because where do you think Annabelle got that to say it from the first place?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. And, I wonder, is this going to come back on Kyle in a way to where they have Sutton? Because Sutton clearly ain't reading between the lines. to be like, okay, where did she get it from? But whatever. At this rate, I think Sutton doesn't really want to argue with her, so she's kind of like just being like, "Girl, you know, what is the great value, Melissa Etheridge?"
She said that all last week, and I hollered, so I just had to put it up.
But I like Sutton.
Morgan,
That's what she's fighting with Kyra. Like
about Morgan.
I'm weak. Any other thing? Any other thoughts on this scene? No.
Mm-mm.
All right, so then we see Crystal and Garcelle on the phone. Now, what I just find so interesting is this seeing Crystal just buddy with Garcelle and Sutton. You know, it's been like 3 seasons now, and it's just like I feel, and I'm not gonna say this is the truth, but I feel like she kind of knew she was on her way out, so she had to make some alliances, make some friends, and that's what we're seeing. Because why wouldn't she be close to Garcelle sooner? Why wouldn't she be close with Sutton sooner? It just didn't make sense to me. What? Go ahead.
I don't think even that it's on her way out. It's that the other group didn't accept her like she thought they were going to. So she went on in that direction. They were never her first choice. That too.
And we talked about that for years. For those last 2 seasons. So that's true too. But anyway, they're on the phone and they talk about AnneMarie and the eating disorder conversation from at the event. And you know, Crystal brings up some tea and says that she met AnneMarie about 4 months ago, and when she met her, she said that she was a doctor, anesthesiologist, which comes to find out she is a nurse. What is it? What's the word?
A nurse.
What's the word? What's the word?
She's a CNA, a certified nurse in the.
And it's not whatever she is.
She is not a CNA.
Whatever she is nothing to be ashamed of. Like I'd be proud to say.
I'm a CNA.
If I had her profession.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that profession, but this is what Crystal said. Crystal is basically saying, well, actually, she's not really who she says she is. She's not a doctor, further proving she shouldn't be doing research, and that really she's probably not even qualified to even be talking about. Now, how you say that? Medical people, what?
Esthetician.
Child.
No, anesthesia. I don't think they spelled that right, Sean.
Anesthesia. Help me out.
Anesthetist.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She put you to sleep.
Well, yeah, she
literally
is
and figuratively.
She is Sean S. She is that because that's what she is. And so basically, Crystal's like she's not who she says she is, and Crystal believes that. Crystal says she did her own research, and the amount of time it took her to AnneMarie to do her research, she found out really quickly that what Sutton was saying is true, and there's truth to it. So,
that's what it reminded me of.
What?
When Keisha Cole's sister couldn't say quinoa, she said cream of wheat. That's what I felt like we was all just doing.
God, baby, I cannot say that word, and that's okay because that's not my thing.
I don't think Sean spelled it right, and if she did, I apologize.
No, somebody else spelled it the same exact way.
I believe Sean. Sean spelled it right.
Okay, I apologize.
That's how she said it. I can't say it. I should have recorded it, but anesthesis. Anyway, AnneMarie flop. That's what I'm gonna call it. So what are y'all thoughts on this conversation between these two? Anything regarding Crystal's, you know, the tea that she said she ran into 4 months ago? Do we believe it? And then
I believe it. I also feel like she knows that her and the sleep doctor is gonna put you to, you know, they're gonna get into it later on. So I feel like so that Annabelle can't be the one to say we've been met a long time, but like she's putting it out there herself already. Like she's kind of laying the foundation to cover, if she has to cover anything up, she's kind of laying the foundation. You heard it from me first, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Sleep Number is really just. I don't know how many more ways I can say that she's a snooze fest. I do think that what you said about Sleep Number, yes. What you said about Crystal is correct, because I definitely remember her going back and invalidating Garcelle's claims amongst the group that she does not feel accepted amongst the group. And, well, as a person of color, I don't feel like these girls don't treat me like I don't belong. It's like, girl, shut up. You haven't even been here that long. Like, you know, Crystal really irked me with that. That was like strike 4 on my list, and I only give her people 3 chances So as far as I'm concerned, Crystal's a dub. I do think though, even though she's a dub and she does things like that, she has made a genuine effort, though the other side kind of shunned her, to be friends with Sutton as they bonded over baseball. Am I correct? And now Garcelle, because Garcelle definitely kept her at arm's length when when that friendship was budding between them last season or the season before that, whenever. So I do definitely agree with that. As far as I'm concerned, though, um, let's have a mid off. Like both of them are mid. Like so, I mean, I guess you got to have an opening match before the main event. So
I think Crystal gonna win though.
And here's another thing. Let's get into it because it is still Martin Luther King week. Monday was Martin Luther King Day. Yesterday was Tubman Tuesday. Today is, I guess, Wendy Williams Wednesday. And I am gonna say it, and you are hearing it from me. Krista don't want to get activated, but she want to yell at a black lady. She want to fight a black woman. I guess she say, sleep number don't count. So let me.
That's sleep number. You
At least Crystal.
Sleep number, the mattresses.
What I will say about Crystal though, at least in her coming over to Garcelle and Sutton's side, she ain't just sitting there being conveniently being friends with them. Like she actually is speaking up and defending them when it's called for. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, she says she does that a lot, and I believe it. They just been chopping it. That's why I don't think that she's going to get a renewal on her contract because they chopped her from the first half of that season. And she said most especially, she stated that when Garcelle expressed discomfort about her children being around the ladies and Dorit made it all about her, that she actually stood up for her in the moment, and it didn't air. So.
Oh. I'm sorry for her, Crystal.
And I'm joking about the black woman comment. I mean, honestly, at this point, Sleep Study, she definitely deserved to be taken down. So,
yeah, it was warranted. She's spoken a lot. Then I'll put these next two scenes together, and we can talk about them because they were like blah to me. But maybe there's some conversation there. So Dorit's getting ready for her event. She's having it at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, and very nice hotel, by the way. I mean, obviously iconic in so many ways. But she's preparing for the event, and she's so worried about security. She's making sure that nobody can bust through the door and rob her blind while
she's take the teeth.
Take the teeth, take the homeless with them or whatever. It was just like, okay, but PK is there to assure her that is not going to happen. She feels and by this she feels that their therapy session went so well that he's now more attentive. And when she says, I'm scared, he is very present in her way, in every way possible. So that happens there, and then we get a scene of Crystal and her brother. We know that she felt like she may have been to blame for her brother and his ex-wife girlfriend breaking up. And judging by this scene, it sounds like she was, because what comes to the light is that her and her mom are very protective of him. And as the women in his life, they are not allowing other women to come into his life. And so he talks about moving back to Asia for like half of the year or like full time or whatever. And it's basically that it's not because of them, but it's just some time he needs alone, that they're going to have to accept any woman that comes in his life, and as well as the woman has to accept them too. So any thoughts on Dorit and her security measures and PK, and Crystal and her brother Chase?
I think that if they have PK working the door and he blows his breath on people, I'm pretty sure that'll keep it all alive. I'm sorry, I just cannot get out of my mind that while they weren't homeless, PK was definitely toothless last season before he got those teeth fixed. Remember that before picture they showed of his teeth?
I wonder if the charity did them.
Maybe about the foundation
to be put on TV.
Because they weren't going to pay for it because what's her name? Camille says they owe everybody in Beverly Hills money. It's true. It's true. As far as Crystal is concerned, it was interesting for me to hear her brother say how opinionated she is, how she doesn't mind speaking up and meddling in his business, but she does the opposite on this show. And as far as I'm concerned, take her back to Asia with you.
You know, I did notice this was the first time I actually.
Wait, hold on, wait. I'm sorry, Dayne.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No. That was a joke. Ha ha. Funny. And it wasn't meant in any racial kind of way. It was just get her off.
Get her off the show.
Yes.
Yeah. I get that's what I got for it.
I just wanted to clarify for those in the group chat who are
ready to go.
Right
You didn't want to ism. All I really got from this thing was that okay, because Jamie had called him handsome before and I didn't see it, but I kind of saw it this time. That's all I got. The scene was boring. Say it again? He was kind of handsome.
Her brother?
Her brother, yeah. I never got it before because Jamie calls everybody handsome, but I saw it in this scene. So.
Are you calling Jamie hard up?
No, Jamie's over complimentary.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it sounds like you called him easy. And
yeah, go. Sound like you called him toothless and homeless.
Okay, nothing else there. So it's the day of the events, and everyone it goes back and forth between everybody getting ready, getting their glam and makeup done. Everyone is tickled by the name; they can either get it right or cannot. So that happens, and then we see a very awkward scene between Kyle and Mauricio in their vehicle headed to the event, and Kyle looks like Dracula in that damn thing, crazy.
Makeup did too.
She did not look great.
Her makeup, when they saw the side profile, they forgot to blend that in, baby. It was just all black.
She didn't look good in that car. But Mauricio is going to the event, and they're just basically catching up about the previous event and just talking about how it was. And she talks about how she wishes that he was there, and she kind of, even though she was happily in love with Morgan and flirting all over the man and all the woman and feeding her, she hoped that her husband or whatever popped up and came to the event. And I'm like, oh my God, okay. But then they kind of talk about traveling. Mauricio talks about his traveling, and she went up to him by saying, well, I'm gonna be gone next, and I'm actually gonna be gone again a week after that too. And he's just like, oh. So she feels like she got him in the sense of she's pulling a him on him. And I call it travel battles. So then we get to the event, and did y'all have anything there?
I just want to say that the real reason Kyle wanted to make sure Mo was at this event is because she knew Dorit was going to press if he wasn't there. She's going to press for a reason why, and she wasn't going to be able to give her just any other thing. Dorit was going to press her.
Well, I don't think he can miss too many more events anyway before they all start being like, okay, it's true. Y'all are going, because they already owned her. So I think at some point,
we are too.
We know the truth. So, yeah.
I thought it was supremely tacky on his part to refer to it as the event. How was the event? Do you mean I don't know. He could have the way it came off. I don't
how
know
are
if
you
it was
doing?
what he said.
You okay?
More so how he said it though.
Yeah.
I just felt like
there was no
that
empathy.
really highlights the disconnect. And she went as far as last week to say that they were friendly as well. And of course, if they've been dating so long and he knew who she was in her life, he should have moved heaven and earth to be
her
there.
Mom asked where,
yeah.
And that was like,
I think that's what bothered me most about him not being there. It wasn't even so much about Kyle. It's that lady, that her friend's mom, cared about Mo enough to ask where he was. His
family too.
Yeah, I really think that he didn't care to ask about anything as to how it was or he'd be sympathetic because he knows that Kyle was allegedly there with her girlfriend allegedly. So she was in good hands.
Well, yeah, I do agree, Sean, with you too. There was no chemistry at all. It was awkward.
It was bad.
They both were kind of like,
we're here for work.
Like, what do we talk about? They didn't even know what even really have how was the event? It's just the whole thing was just very strangers.
It's really bad when you don't even think, okay, the one thing we do got in common is our kids. We could even talk about them and it not be awkward. They couldn't even think in a moment to even just talk about that as a common ground. Like they just couldn't. They can't connect no more. It's done. It's a wrap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we get to the event. Everybody arrives. First of all, Erica Jane is so tiny. She's so tiny. But she looks good in her paint. She arrives. Crystal arrives. Who was the person that Erica and Garcelle took a picture with? Who's that lady?
The pink lady. She was just somebody in pink that they saw.
Oh, it was
nobody. They
nobody.
didn't even have her name. They just called her the pink lady. I don't know if she's famous in over there too, but she didn't look toothless or homeless, so I know she was a guest.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I thought maybe she's somebody. I thought I missed. I looked down and then I looked up and I was like, who's that?
Because she about 3.5 feet tall, baby.
Yeah. She looked like a little Betty White almost. Little
B.
So upon arriving, we see that we've seen Sutton and Erica have kind of been hanging out a lot, not necessarily together, but with Garcelle. We've seen this is like the second or maybe third scene we've seen. We don't see it on the show. It's always hidden scenes, right? That they just kind of show us a flashback of. I wish they would actually show us these scenes.
But they're fun.
They actually are.
But isn't the scene they flashback from the first time they went out when she?
That was the first. That was the same scene.
That was the same scene when she found out about her kissing her driver. That was that same scene.
Oh, okay. So they only hung out one time, but they
they just saving it.
I think it confused me, child. I'm weak. So Sutton, and I'm sorry, not Sutton. Erica jokes about Sutton's esophagus, and Sutton is like, you know what? At this rate, I'm sitting on ready. Where's she at? Bring her over here. She messed with the wrong one. I'm ready to address her. And I'm like, okay, is this the big Sutton that we've been talking about? Because to me, it wasn't that appealing. I'm like, this is not the Sutton that I want to see. Like, I get, you come for others when they come for you, but baby, it's like she went home, took notes, and was like, I'm gonna do. It was just too much for me. But anyway, still love Sutton. So the moment AnneMarie comes in, AnneMarie walks in, they all looking at her, Garcelle, Sutton, and Erica are all on the side, like, oh, there she is. Bring her over here. She walks over with her husband, and her husband speaks to Sutton. And I ain't gonna lie, Sutton got wet in the panties. Okay, Sutton was so smitten when that man hugged her. She was looking up at him, up and down. You would thought she found the one that she was looking for this whole damn season. She was smitten, and so the husband is still there, but she turns to AnneMarie and is like, "We need to talk right now." And so AnneMarie's like, "Oh, okay." So they start to talk, and the first thing Sutton says, "You picked the wrong person," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So they go back and forth. They go back and forth as the husband walks off, and Sutton is just like, ma'am. AnneMarie's like, don't yell at me. Then Sutton is like, I'm not yelling. AnneMarie's like, yes, you were. You were just yelling because Sutton was kind of loud from what I saw. Anyway, AnneMarie stands in what she said about the drinking, about that Sutton shouldn't be drinking. She says she's board certified, so she is well in her right to discuss it and knows what she's talking about. Crystal came in, or Crystal jumps in, and Crystal was like, well, I'm sorry. She turns to Crystal and was like, well, Crystal is the person that says that you that you lied. And so Crystal's like, well, you did lie. And so then Garcelle repeats verbatim that she says, I've known you 10 minutes and you've already lied twice, basically proving that AnneMarie did indeed say that Sutton was lying, which she said she's not. So then she says that Crystal is the one that said that Sutton had the eating disorder. And of course, Crystal is just like not here for that because one, it's the eating disorder, and two, she's not going to be blamed for something like that, as we know how she feels about these type things.
That specifically,
exactly. And then I ain't gonna lie, the people are just yelling and yelling and yelling. And what drew my attention, I know they was yelling, but it's one thing that drew my attention, and I'm gonna show it to you. And it was this young man. I don't know who this man was on the screen, but it was this man right here. Whoever he is that was at this event, hit me up, okay?
Oh yeah.
I don't know who he was, but they showed him on the camera. Hey, if you're available, you didn't see him when they were arguing. It took my mind off. No, I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, he had a charity. I'm toothless and homeless. Come help me.
That was a fine man. Anyway, because I noted down the bald head man was fine. That's how distracted I was. Anyway, so Crystal reveals that the reason why it really bothered him the most is because she had talked about it for hours. So they show a timeline of her talking about it at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And I'm like, damn, she really was talking about this. Like, I see why they walked off. We saw them walk off last week, but we didn't really know why it was like why they were so annoyed. Now we see why. Because, I mean, she's annoying, but to hear about it for like 3 or 4 hours is crazy. So then they go back and forth, and Crystal makes a face, and AnneMarie turns to Crystal and was like, do you want to go to medical school? And so apparently she says that Crystal wants her life. She says that Crystal resents her because she can go to med school. That's something that she's always wanted to do, and she did. So that's the real issue. So from that, AnneMarie does give Sutton a small apology or something. Basically says like, I don't know if you're gonna accept it or not, but I'll apologize for that. And she kind of storms off, and that ends the argument. So Chase, I'll ask you. I know it was a lot, but how did you feel about this whole exchange? Sutton's approach, how it went from her and AnneMarie to AnneMarie and then Crystal, because Crystal was very activated, because we know she also called her a bitch. I mean, she called her a bitch.
With venom.
She did, and so Crystal has found her voice.
She found her voice at the expense of a. No, let me stop. I want to say I'm a little torn right now. I'm gonna have to sit with, because we just watched it. I'm gonna have to sit with how I feel about Sutton right now, because while she is well warranted and well within her rights to be frustrated that this girl has gone to multiple events talking about her little throat, I think that she came off pretty hot, and I didn't know, she didn't give any signs to me that she was that upset about it. And the bring her over here, get over here now, and all that stuff. And then when she gets over here, let me tell you something. Boom, you got the wrong girl. Boom, I'm like, okay, girl. Okay, girl. Like, I don't know how I feel about it. And it's not like for me, it is not a race thing for me as to why I'm a little taken aback by it. I just don't ever recall seeing Sutton that activated without being probed in the moment. I've never seen her go on really the attack, or I can't remember a time, and I'm sure maybe you guys can, or maybe everybody in the chat is going to remind me of times where she's just come out of the gate hot and going at it with people, but that was new for me, so I don't know how to take that. So there's that. As far as the girl saying that Crystal is jealous of her, and try again, you girls, and I gotta say this, certain sections of the medical community, and we watch it on Married to Medicine as we recap it on Tubman Tuesdays. Um, on Married to Medicine, girls like Dr. Jackie who have the MD behind their name with the initials and this and this and that, they do think that, as Mariah said, the MDs are up here and the MRS MDs are down here, and they kind of have an air about themselves. But girl, you barely passed medical coding and billing, okay? Sleep number. So for you to be talking about somebody as jealous when this girl is literally married to Walt Disney, to me, is insane. And it goes to show how you can be speaking to someone, just telling them your story and what you're going through in hopes to relate to them, or, hey, I admire you for going to medical school and doing it. I wanted to go to medical school, but life had a different plan for me. And I chose my husband over, my professional wants or needs. And now I'm jealous of you when you couldn't even Google. I guess she was so busy in the operating room, she couldn't take the time to Google properly what the hell Sutton had going on with her throat, because this lady was able to do so. And maybe that's something that her husband taught her that you just can't get in college. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I just felt that the things that what's her name, Annabelle, be saying in her mouth often are baseless with no merit, and just her talking out the side of those big old arms of hers.
Okay. Well, Danny, do you have a follow-up?
It's gonna be hard to follow that, but I will say, Chase, I understand why you say that you have to like sit on it and reflect on how you feel about Sutton, because it's out of the norm for you. But I'm personally here for it. I think Annabelle deserved it. I think she wanted to get Annabelle at the memorial, but couldn't, because that definitely wasn't the right time or place. They've all acted out at charity events before, so this wouldn't have been nothing new. If somebody I didn't really know from a can of paint was questioning my gabapentin thing, the medicine for the knees or ankles or whatever she's taking for her foot, I'm sorry, then constantly we already had this one thing with my throat where I thought we put it to bed, and now at a memorial, something that's supposed to be serious and honoring Kyle's friend, you talk to my friends about it for 2.5 hours. And then on top of that, you lied. You said that Crystal is the one who said, you know, about the eating disorder. So I mean, I can't wait to see how Annabelle plays that at the reunion, because they're going to play her clip back in her face. Yeah. But yeah, I was here for her. She got what she deserved. I wish we would have got this Crystal a long time ago. If this was a Crystal I would have got from before, she would have had a fan in me. Only thing I didn't like was, you know, that what Kyle did later. I don't know if you got to that scene yet, but what Kyle says later
to Dorit about
when
how
Dorit says, "Ooh, AnneMarie is heated." Girl, AnneMarie was the least impressing thing over there that happened. Like,
it really wasn't heated. It actually was the other two that were.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to gas her up, and it's just it's not working. I really truly feel too that AnneMarie was on a mission, talking to those two women for 2.5 hours about it, trying to see if they were going to chime in so she could try to break them up. But
I'll tell you one thing I didn't like, and I'm gonna say this. So yes, this fight is between AnneMarie and Sutton. And I know that Crystal, you know, is a touchy subject about eating disorders, but I personally kind of cringe when she did kind of question her profession and what she was versus what she had. I didn't really like that, to be honest. That's just me. And I mean, I don't know AnneMarie. She could be a liar. She obviously is lying about certain things that's happening in the real moment. But personally, I didn't like that piece. I don't know. It didn't sit right with me, and I just feel like I like that Crystal's coming for her in a sense, but some of the things she was doing, I wish that it would have been Sutton. I would have accepted it. If Sutton had came back and said, "You're not actually this, you this," then okay. But it's like it almost seems like Crystal kind of made her way into it a little more. Yes, eating disorders is touchy for you, but personally, this really isn't your fight to really be going in. You can have your opinion and defend your friend, but I feel like I didn't really like her coming at her in that way. I didn't feel like it was her fight.
Yeah, I get it. I just feel like it was kind of an example to show you're lying about this. You lied about this coming in the gate. It's just like, what is the truth of you? Who are you?
But, you know, I kind of feel where the disconnect is that it's been so unlike Crystal that we've seen for 3 seasons to really insert herself into other people's affairs that, you know, her doing so at this moment feels like a last-ditch effort to save her position. And I feel like she knows she's on the way out, whether y'all want to admit it or not, whether she's a big boss or not, whether she's got the biggest water company or not, whether she's married to Walt Disney or not. She is not, and I'm going to say it, she is not a good fit for this show. And I don't know if that's partially her fault or partially the production team's fault. However, it just has not worked. It has been 3 years. She still doesn't have the hang of it. She's just not getting the ropes. I don't have a 4th season to give her. For me, I think that nice try. You gave her 3 years. You know, you guys always say, don't get rid of a season, one housewife. If they show hope of potential, give them another season to work it out. But I just don't think that this is for her. I think that she could be on like reality television, but maybe like competition reality television. So when I say that, I mean like Shark Boss or something like that. You know what I mean? Like something else. But Housewives is just not for you, boo.
And Cortez, so I did want to add too, like, if you accuse me of saying something so vile at my friend, if you lie on me saying my friend has an eating disorder, it ain't nothing I can't say.
But you gotta think about it. Crystal did that research before this conversation.
Yeah.
She did that research about that before. What's her name?
But she may not have mentioned it if she didn't get, you know, thrown into it by being lied on. She mentioned
it because of the eating disorder, because she said that she accused her, but she didn't get accused of saying that Sutton was the one with the eating disorder until after.
What I'm saying is she may not have, but she hadn't made the comment yet about the profession until AnneMarie said that you're the one who said
But she did the research, so she was going to
make it. She may not have used it. We don't know.
She was going to use it. Yes, she was.
I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt.
No, when she had that conversation with Garcelle, you knew she was going to use it.
Listen, I'm going to let y'all know now I'm biased against Annabelle, and I'm going to do everything I can to defend everybody else against her. That's just that.
No, and I'm letting you know I'm biased.
I'm just standing in it.
No.
What he's saying is he gonna be biased regardless, and that's okay.
That's my this
We got
bottom
a
square is
super
mine.
Mims is here. Hold on, make it make sense. I should have saw you when I was in Houston, but I didn't. Anyway, comment from Mims is AnneMarie should focus less on Sutton's small throat. I'm scared to read the rest of this, and more on removing herself from Kyle's. Morgan said there's no room for two in there. Well, I don't think Morgan going up in there. You know,
I don't think Morgan want to date with Annabelle in the ring, baby. I just want to tell you right now. So Mims is saying that she needs to back out of Sutton's small throat and out of Kyle's flat ass. Okay, come on, Mims.
But I agree with everything he just said. Thank you, darling, because he right.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Mims, for the super chat. Make sure y'all check out Mims' channel too. Mims becoming a wild, a hot tea child stuff that I don't even know how he be getting it, child, but it be hot and it be factual. So,
but let me go subscribe now too.
Yeah. All right.
Can we talk about Taylor Dayne? By the way,
yeah, that was next. So yeah, the next scene.
Wait, no, quickly. I'm sorry. I thought we were breaking down the whole scene.
Oh, you mean Maga Dayne?
No, I stopped there because there was so much in that fight. So
you're right.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about it. So the next part, I mean, we talked about Kyle coming to Doree, hyping up AnneMarie as if she was like just doing all the most, and she really wasn't doing anything over there, but getting yelled at by several people. But then Doree switches the seats for AnneMarie and Crystal. So they won't sit by each other. Mauricio sits next to Sutton, and he makes a joke about her esophagus. She's like, please stop. And she still wonders why he is here, but would not have come to an event for his wife. That was, I mean, I'm not going to say more important, but definitely had a lot of meaning, and for her anyway. And so then we see Paula Abdul as she calls out Taylor Dayne, and she performs, Tell It to My Heart. Erica Jane is living. She says she's one of the greatest vocalists alive. And I was like, okay. And then, but AnneMarie does not know who Taylor is. And this one, I really was like, AnneMarie, you about to really piss me off. You about to really piss me off because I'm not surprised. Crystal knew, Crystal be out here rapping lyrics. She probably was with Tupac back in the day too, but she knew, everybody else knew. And what's your thoughts on Taylor Dayne? I know you said that was one of your favorite parts, Chase.
She should have did Love Will Lead You Back. I would have been there, toothless and homeless and crying and just throwing up and everything. I love Love Will Lead You Back. And the reason why Erica thinks that Taylor Dayne is one of the most preeminent vocalists of our time is because, have you heard of Erica Jane record? I mean, really?
Well, Taylor Dayne, Maga Dayne had some really good Taylor Mac.
No, you lying.
Taylor Make America Great Again Dayne.
You lying.
Right before we got on live, Danny dropped the bomb to Chase and told him something, and Chase won't believe it.
Yeah, she loves to perform at Mar-a-Lago. But
take me off the show. I don't want it.
She had some great songs. She had Tell It to My Heart, Love Will Lead You Back, I'll Always Love You, and Don't Rush Me. Like, those are, like, I love those songs. I don't like her no more, but I love those songs. And I'm still listening to them, but
in the words of Kim Richards, you're lying.
I'll send you the article.
Uh-oh.
From People magazine.
I can't take it.
But no, it was nice to see her up there. I mean, I feel like Taylor Dayne's music, I feel like she's one of those people, like, even if you don't know her name, when the songs come on, you know the songs. You know what I mean? Like, people. Yeah. So I feel like Annabelle probably knew the song and could sing along with it, but probably didn't know her name. Like, yes, Art, she with them.
I will say, not my Taylor Dayne.
Why is he doing this?
Lisa, I just said I didn't say nothing about her vocals.
Dang, y'all.
Lisa, she is a good vocalist and a doggone good singer. She has songs that I love.
You know, Lisa don't care nothing about.
Y'all know Lisa.
And she had remade Barry White's "Can't Get Enough of Your Love."
No, oh my God, Taylor Dayne, why would you do it, Taylor? Why, Taylor? Why?
I'm a weak.
Why?
So that was pretty much all for that. At the end of this,
Marty, put the link in, Tess.
Well, no. That's a little more. At the end of the event, this is where Sutton sits down. She's like, "Ladies, we got to come together. We can't keep doing this." And she's just like, basically, she's just like,
"I had a dream."
Right. She sat down and was like, "Listen, ladies, we got to get this together before we go on this trip. I don't want this on the trip." she turns to AnneMarie and was just like, especially about AnneMarie, talking behind her back. AnneMarie says, listen, I'm not doing this anymore with you. I'm done talking about it. We talked about it. I'm done. And that's where it ends on that. I ain't gonna lie. I was with AnneMarie like, all right, son, we got it. Are we done with it or not? Because Jesus. We get to the following day. And on the following day, we see Sutton and Kyle talking. And Sutton wants Kyle to mediate a conversation between AnneMarie and Sutton. She feels like she should, as that's her friend. Kyle says the same, as she doesn't say that she's responsible for her having all this information, but that she's responsible because she brought her into the group. I wish she would have said, well, I'm the one that, did talk about the eating issues and your esophagus, blah, blah, blah. But she didn't say all that. But AnneMarie does say on FaceTime that she feels bad after reflecting. And but she does say Crystal owes her an apology for calling her a bitch. We see Erica and Crystal having a conversation. They, kind of talking about Crystal calling AnneMarie a bitch, and Erica's just so glad it wasn't her fighting and having an issue. That seems to be her goal this season, outside of what she had with what's her name? What's the lady's name? She told about the OnlyFans.
Denise.
I would say Diana. Denise, yeah. And then we see Garcelle and Sutton having the same conversation as well. But to end the episode off, AnneMarie does call Sutton, and she, as she answers the phone, Sutton says, "Excuse me, right now, I'm just eating. I'm eating. Your girl say I don't eat, so I'm eating. And I'm actually eating," is what she says. And then AnneMarie says she's sorry for her part. Sutton is not as receptive for her part because she feels like she has the only part in this, but she decides to move forward, and that's how the episode ends. We see next week they go to Spain, and this is where AnneMarie and Crystal really get into it, which I'm actually interested in seeing. I hope it is next week because that's the comment I think Dayne mentioned about making her relevant. I'm just curious to see what Crystal says after that, and then that'll determine if I live for her this season or not. This season, because outside of that, I'm with Chase. She could go. I mean,
yeah.
So, any thoughts on any of that final gushy stuff of the episode, Danny?
I feel like if I was Sutton, I would have been dry too. Because I tried to give you an olive branch at the party at the end before we even talk about going on a trip and say, let's not do this. Let's just, you know what I mean? Like, and AnneMarie was very to her, so I'm glad Sutton gave right back to her on the phone. That's all I got.
Do you want to go to Barcelona?
I hope it's a fun trip for them. I really do. I hope it's fun.
It is, because my God, today.
I mean, they shoot the reunion is coming up soon. They're gonna be didn't they ask questions like last week?
He did ask for questions.
I just hope they don't go to no strip club.
I have a question. What would be a question that you guys would ask for the reunion?
I don't know.
Do you want to go to Barcelona?
I would ask Sutton, did Kyle name him? Did she ever name him? Did she ever name him? That's what I want to know. Because based off the camera, we never saw anything. But did she ever name him? Danny, you ain't got nothing?
I don't have nothing. Like I've been entertained this season, but I don't really have no unsolved mysteries for anything that I'd want to know.
Okay.
I would ask Dorita, is she willing to go to a march on Washington?
I'd ask Dorita what is inside her bubble? Who was allowed in her bubble?
How do we pop that damn bubble? How do we pop it? Did we call the rock? We call the burglar's back?
PK's old teeth would have popped it.
The sharp suckers, weren't they?
I'm a weak. Okay, y'all. We got a couple of callers in the queue. This is where we have our callers or viewers. You can call in. You can give us your thoughts and opinions. We're gonna turn it over to you guys to say how you feel, of course, respectfully. And before I let them on, make sure you guys hit that like button. I know y'all see Sass K saying to like that video, so y'all see this on the screen.
She gonna get y'all if you don't.
That like button. Are you dizzy? Epilepsy? You got anything like that? Hope I didn't have no seats for that. I was doing this on here right here. Hit the like button. Hit it. All right, y'all. Our first caller for today is going to be Demisio. Hey, Demisio, how are you?
Hey guys.
Hi.
Hi.
So I want to start off with what I would ask at the reunion. Personally, I would
Okay.
I would ask, will AnneMarie own the fact that Kyle sent her on the show to come after Sutton? Can she own that? Because it's very obvious. But as far as the episode goes, this kind of does make me feel a little bad for Kyle, even though it's Kyle and her feelings because she hasn't had compassion in the past. It does make me feel bad because I did like them as a couple. You know, I did like Mauricio as, you know, a husband and stuff like that. So it does feel bad that we can clearly see on camera that they, like, you know, the little medium lady didn't lie. Like, once those kids got grown, it was pretty much, you know, over with.
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Yeah, it does make me feel just a little bit sad, but, you know, F Kyle, because she ain't never had no compassion for nobody else. But yeah, I do find it really strange, and I am curious. I wish I could talk to the production on why they're now wanting to show Crystal's personal storyline towards the end of the season. That's like not making any sense to me. Like, now we're getting all these personal scenes with her brother, her husband, and stuff like that. Like, where was this, you know, at the beginning?
They didn't care.
Well, we saw a few scenes. We saw a few things here and there, like kind of.
No.
I mean, honestly, has it really been that interesting of a storyline? Like, we don't know her brother. We don't really care.
I mean, no, not really, but I'm just saying though, like, now we're getting, it's like we're getting overload. Every episode she has this personal scene. It's just like, child, y'all could have showed this earlier. You know,
it might mean that they didn't get nothing else to work with for anybody.
No, you know what I really think it is? I think that they had all intents and purposes on bringing in Muscles to come in and replace Crystal. And what happened was the whole allegations and the lawsuit came out against her husband, as well as the allegations of them being transphobic and having a lot of isms. And I think that the noise was getting louder as the season progressed. And so, as you can tell, there were a couple of episodes where we actually didn't even see AnneMarie, and she's a diamond holder. Yeah, and so I think that the scene they were placing in her scenes, and we weren't seeing a lot of Crystal. And now I think it's in reverse because of what happened with her. And so they're reinserting Crystal stuff, is what I think.
That makes a lot. No, that could be very well what it is. That makes a lot of sense. I really didn't think about it like that. So thanks for that insight. And AnneMarie is a nurse anesthetist. That's what she.
There you go.
That's how you.
You'd be correcting me.
Thank you. So that's what it is. Is it really a
drop him down?
No, I'm being dead serious. Like, I literally, while y'all was on live, I literally went back to the clip on Instagram to make sure I pronounced it right.
While we were up here struggling.
Yeah.
So you trying to build yourself up so you can bring us down up here?
You don't come and tear other women down, darling.
Right.
I am sorry, my loves. But no,
got to go.
I will say this, Chase. I agree with you as far as, like, Sutton did kind of take me very aback with confronting her the way that she did. It's like Sutton came in, was like, yeah, right here, right now, let's go. I was like, clutching my invisible pearls, honey, because I'm like, I mean, we've seen Sutton get in there and fight and stuff like that, but like, she came in, like, it makes me feel like Garcelle like told her, like, girl, you better get her, honey, because she's coming for you, baby. So I don't know what it was, but she came in. And I'm like, Dayne, I did kind of enjoy it a little bit to see Sutton kind of like come straight in and didn't cry. She didn't stumble over her words. She was direct in her confronting, and she was 100% right. And I do feel like Crystal had a right to jump into the argument because, number one, she is lying. It's like, girl, you are consistently lying about your story, and it's on camera. You said all these things. You accused her of having an eating disorder. You accused her of lying. You said these things, and then to try to say that Crystal is the one to say it. So Crystal had every right to get on up in this, and she want to bring me into the argument. Let's go. So I feel like she had every right to do it, and I feel like at the reunion, I want Sutton to just come to the realization that Kyle ain't your friend. Like you said, she over there hyping AnneMarie up, and it's like AnneMarie really got read, honey, by the both of them.
She did.
So it's like, how was that your friend, Kyle? But yet you study hyping this lady up to go after her. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And the last thing, because I know it's somebody behind me, which, like y'all said, on the next trip, I guess it will determine for me as well. Because I did kind of live for her calling her a bitch. But I guess it will kind of determine whether or not I live for Crystal with how she responds to her saying that she's making her relevant, even though it's quite the opposite. Because, yeah, Crystal is kind of meh and blah and boring and can go. It's like, it's kind of the opposite. She's kind of making you relevant, honey, because we saw you all of maybe 30 minutes the whole season. So how are you making Crystal relevant? No, her and Sutton made you relevant, boo-boo, and they gave you something to talk about. Because if it wasn't for them two, what would you be talking about? So let's be very clear about something. Like you said, she's married to Walt Disney and the creator of Kung Fu Panther. Stop it, girl. You're not making anybody relevant, honey, at all. Focus on your husband and his lawsuits and his transphobia. That's what you worry about. And I hope somebody,
because I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay. No, they made as far as the lawsuits go, but he did make those comments about the trans community. He did make those comments.
Nothing. My views do not align with Demicio's. I just want to clear my name.
All right, Demicio, we got some more calls in the queue. Okay, thank you for calling.
All right, y'all.
Bye, Demicio.
Bye.
All right.
He's gonna get me taken down. Hell no.
Yes, allegedly. That's basically what he said. Allegedly, you make sure y'all call up, y'all. You know, you got to protect yourselves because
alleged to me.
They be trying to sue. You don't want.
I ain't got nothing for them to take.
Neither do I. I ain't even got.
You want to take this tooth? You want to be toothless?
Yeah, let's all try to practice the alleged word. I'll even put it on the screen because clearly y'all ain't learned. All right, our next caller is Kyra. Hey, Kyra, how are you?
Kyra.
Hey, girl. Hey,
people. Hey. I need Kyle to stop playing in her faces. She cares about taking photos with Mauricio because she knows it's done and over. She knows it's done and over right now. And I don't really want to hear her talk about she wants to live Mother Earth, Mother Nature life when she's traveling just as much as Mauricio is. Now he's dirty down for not being at that celebration of life and especially calling it an event. That was messed up. But they are clearly living separate lives. And I kind of feel like she already went through the motions and she's on this show wanting to embarrass him, which I'm fine. Embarrass him all you want to. But then when people are asking questions about what's going on because you're clearly acting out, don't act all surprised. Especially when you got your sugar baby's shoes coming to your house. You buy this woman Banana Bottega loafers and have it sent to your home? Open it, girl. And I think AnneMarie, I was fine with the way that Sutton and Crystal handled AnneMarie. Because then once you really think about that this was an event for a celebration of life for someone who unfortunately dealt with issues and took their own life. And then when you think about the fact that either Crystal or Garcelle probably told her she was talking about it for 2 hours, I would be heated too when I finally see you. Because I knew I couldn't handle you behind the event. I can handle you now. I think that part is fine to me. And then she followed it up with if you remember at the celebration of life, she did in that moment also say that Crystal was the one who said the eating disorder. I never said eating disorder, you did. And then you go ahead and you do it again, pretending like I'm the one who said. Now you're saying not only did I bring it up, but I'm saying Sutton has an eating disorder as her friend. And I would have handled her behind too and cursed her out because it's just kind of like I think it's fine questioning her profession in this moment in time because she's trying to weaponize it.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the thing about it is, when Sutton was trying to talk to her, instead of letting Sutton talk, which is why Sutton got elevated, it's because she started to overtalk Sutton and saying, well, as a certified board, that's what she is, and that's wonderful, and we need those people. Nurses do a lot of work. You barely see your doctor nowadays. They do a lot of work. But I'm like, ma'am, you work with the trachea, not the esophagus. They're both in the throat, but they do 2 different things, ma'am. And so you're acting like you're the expert on this. And when someone says, this is what I have, she's not coming to it like she actually cares about Sutton. You're coming to it like you're trying to out her for something. And you're outing her for having an issue or outing her for having an eating disorder. Either way, those are problematic. And you should be handled for that then. And Kyle needs to be handled for this because the fact of the matter is, as soon as we saw AnneMarie, Annabeth, Mattress 8.5, Kyle sucked her on Sutton and she's done the dirty work since and has played herself like a fool. Because now Kyle is.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
That's okay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, honey. Have you taken a medical billing and coding class? Because how you know about
Yes, I have. Yes, I am.
I know that's right, girl. I know that's right.
So I'm just like, when she says like the whole throat to my jam, no, the trachea is your jam. The trachea connects to the lungs, esophagus to the stomach, which is why there are two different things. And we feel like we're about to choke and die when it goes down the wrong pipe. Because anyway, so it feels gross when it's like, what is your purpose? And I guess it's gross to me because we can see that her purpose is doing Kyle's dirty work. And then you follow with Kyle now pretending like she doesn't know how this issue started when she is the one who brought up Sutton's esophagus and Sutton having an eating disorder in the first place. She needs to be handled. I mean, AnneMarie needs to be handled. Kyle, Sutton, if you don't see this heifer for who she is at that reunion, you need to be like, you set this woman on me. And we are no longer friends, okay? That's what needs to happen. I think nothing else really happened. We are going to see what happens with Crystal because she is fading to the back. I do not care about the brother. I barely care about Crystal. So I don't really know why we keep
Hello.
The brother is moisturized.
So why do I care about her brother?
Again, he's moisturized. He's manicured. We love that. But I don't care. So he needs to go. And I'm looking forward to what kind of conversation her and Annabelle will happen beforehand for Annabelle to be like, you said these women were unintelligent, which does sound like something Crystal would say. It does sound like something Crystal would say. So I think it will be messy because this episode is a little more demure. And I just don't agree with Kate. I feel like Sutton handled Annabelle because Annabelle chose the wrong moment in time to continue this dumb argument.
You call up here to tell me that you don't agree with me?
I sure did.
It's okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, Kyra, we got one more call in the queue. I'll let you go, okay?
I feel bad for her. She went from Annabelle, AnneMarie, and Maria to now Annabeth.
Annabelle.
Not Annabelle. All right, good night, Kyra.
Right. Baby Kyra say the hip bone connected to the thigh bone. I know that's right, girl. You better give us that medical bill in the cover.
Listen, and also, y'all keep about some exactly Teds. Listen, this still my school. I still feel the same way. I don't care. It ain't changing. I don't like how what he said, and it ain't changing.
But all I said was I had to sit with it. I didn't say I disagreed with it or didn't agree. I just was a little taken aback, and it shocked me. And so I just need to sit with it for a little bit to see how I feel about it. That's all. And it's okay for us to admit that we don't know exactly how we feel right there in the moment. We are reviewing something because it just happened. We just watched it.
I'd rather say that I don't know how I feel in the moment than have to backtrack what I said later.
Absolutely. And
I'm
I don't
gonna feel
like
the same way next week, and I'm gonna feel it the week after that because I don't like what Crystal said to her. I don't like it. All right, our last caller for today is going to be Lisa.
I know why you don't like it though.
Right.
You got
Hello, baby. Hello, my darling.
Hey.
Hello, my darlings.
How are you?
Hi.
Yes. Let's get started, child. Well, don't know about. I'm over Cal and Mauricio. Y'all get together. Don't be together. Wish y'all good luck. Deuces, okay? Cause this is like it was so fake in that car, and I'm tired of it. Okay. Let's move on. Crystal, I don't give a crap about you and your brother. Whatever your brother do, let your brother go to Asia. And how I feel, you can go with him right by now. Because you used to be my girl, but you ain't not my girl no more after tonight. I'm sorry. Okay. Because I said the last person you should have been getting on, you should have had that same energy you gave Marie tonight. You should gave to Sutton several seasons ago. Okay.
Oh no.
Because that witch, I said that witch, and I'm tell you something. Witch, I am tired of you talking about your soft kiss or whatever. We draw a bridge and get over, child. It wasn't that deep. Okay. About no soft kiss. Okay. You talking about, I'm gonna get her. What you gonna get? Nothing. Cause baby, I'm pretty sure. And I don't blame Cal. And when they left the table, they probably did. AnneMarie probably did put Cal to the side. Did you hear what they said to me? And and I ain't gonna mess with AnneMarie. Annabelle seems like she can really get in there with you, cause you see the muscles, baby. The muscles ain't playing. And I think she can really get down because I think she really want to punch Crystal in her face. But she said, I ain't going to do this. I'm in my dress. Okay, so no. So it's just like I'm just over the whole conversation. I'm just over this whole thing. I really was. Crystal, Annabelle, you need to stop talking, okay? Don't nobody care about this witch esophagus, okay? I don't care. Eating this or we over the eating this or we did with that 7 seasons ago. And ain't nobody got no this, and we don't put it all on everybody else. Go get you some help. That's the only thing I can tell you. Okay. I love Lisa, love y'all, but go get you some help. I'm drawing the bridge. I'm over it. Okay. I really am with this esophagus mess. Okay. I can't wait the next Wednesday so I can see AnneMarie come back at Crystal. Yeah, I'm finna tell everything you said, baby, to me. So that's why you need to be careful with what you say to people. Okay. And that's it. Hey, baby, did you get my DM today on my new page?
I did not.
Okay, it's a new thing. It's a new thing. Cause somebody hacked my thing. Somebody hacked.
You gotta. You know what? I figured,
He
and
did
I saw.
that.
So I saw something, and I was like, I'm not responding to this. It seemed like it was hacks, but I'm glad to know because I was like, I'm not responding to that.
Yeah, I got a new page. I got a new page, and I seen you to the DM on the new page.
Okay. Well,
Mills, you too. Hey,
I'll go.
Mills, boo. I love y'all. I will see y'all next Tuesday. I need a head count. If you come, I need a head count. If you come, I need a head count.
We're gonna talk about it later, Lisa. All right. You have a good night.
You hear me?
Huh? Yeah. We're
I
gonna
love
talk.
y'all.
All right. Good night, Lisa.
Come and well. Child, I ain't never had nobody throw no invitation in my face, and I wasn't invited to the thing. I don't know what the hell going on.
It actually was an open invitation to everybody. No. All right. So thank y'all to the callers for tonight. We're gonna go ahead and lean out. Thank you to Lisa and Kyra and Denise for calling in. It was a great show. Despite the episode being okay, but I am ready for next week. I do want to see how Crystal responds. I forgot about not just to that relevant comment, but also how she responds to saying that she said that everybody was like superficial and when she say fake. What
Crystal said it.
I believe she did too, honestly. I really do. And I want to see how she acts because I think Crystal has been in a space to where she wanted to be over here, she wanted to be over here, and she'd be going back and forth. And I think across those groups, she's been talking to her 14 friends that she had about these girls, and I think it just kind of got around. So we'll see. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe. Thank you, Sass K. Thank you, Art World. Thank you, B Honey. Thank you, Curtis Morgan, Demisio, B Honey, Kyra, Haitian Empress, Sean S, Lisa, everybody that was up here tonight. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all check Real Housewives of Miami tomorrow. Don't forget Potomac, Bell Collective, and Married to Medicine will have double recaps next week. So they're gonna be.
And that's our last Bell Collective for the season, so make sure y'all be there.
Collective, true. That is true. So make sure y'all check that one out. Let's check it out. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.